Thank you. That's very true. I was the first poet on the cover of GQ. That stands for Gentleman's Quarterly. It's a magazine owned by Condé Nast, I believe. And I was the first poet ever on the cover. It's true. You can look it up. And I encourage you to do so. Thanks to Rochelle and Dusky for organizing this. I have been the managing editor at Peach for how many years now? 2, 3 years, for a few years, 3 years. And it's been an absolutely wonderful time for me because I've been able to help publish so many people's poems. However, I also, write some poems of my own. And Dusky and the whole, team at PCPT released one of them earlier, about a year or so ago, July 2021, I believe. And I'm going to be reading that for you now. Like all of their poems on the website, it's a fun little game. So I'm going to share my screen here. Can you guys see this? This little thing? All right. So the poem is called A Year or So, and it is in the form of this interactive text message. I will have to type as I read, which is the fun of it. So here we go. A year or so. Sorry, it's on my second screen, so I'm looking in a different direction. Because this is a gamer poetry reading after all, so I gotta have 2 screens. Today I fired a gun straight at the moon. I said something dumb about poetry. I looked at my phone for 2.5 hours. I ate a perfect bowl of chili. Eli Lilly rang the stock market closing bell. I narrowly missed a deer on the interstate. I worked all 3 of my jobs. I paid rent on a Best Buy credit card. And send. And so when you send, there's a little date here. So this was January 10th of 2020. The beginning of an auspicious and strange year. Today, I got laid off and was happy about it. I stole supplies from a local university. I brought up the news many times in conversation. I drank 2 beers and found my new favorite tree. I did 60 push-ups and ate a tuna melt. I dropped a lava lamp in the middle of the street. I have so many friends at the click of a mouse. I said goodnight to the screen. And send. March 15th, 2020. Today, I adopted a cat out of boredom. I worked both jobs remotely. I cooked a lasagna of astounding proportions. I spent a whole lot of money. I climbed to the top of a snowy hill. I did not start a war in the Middle East. I watched myself smile on television. I had a dream I blew up the White House. And send. It's March 20th. Today, I touched 4 different animals. I sent 255 emails nobody wanted to receive. I practiced a meditation technique developed by the CIA. I left my house for the first time in weeks. I made enemies with the church down the road. Over 2,000 dead again. I pushed my health insurance up a hill. I watched it roll back down again. Send. April 10th. Today, I sat in the shade I drafted a statement of corporate responsibility. I agreed with something my father said 15 years ago. I felt the algorithm take over me. I worked both my jobs. I thought the phrase psychedelic ward. I shouted in the sun for a while. I began to understand how a supervillain feels. Send. It's June 6th, 2 days after my birthday. Today, I woke up next to a beautiful woman. I drew a card labeled Meadow. I missed a payment on a personal loan. I watched too many cooking videos. I drank half a beer and clicked 3 targeted ads. I snuck through a room full of lasers undetected. I did not work. Fewer than 1,000 people died. I wrote a poem about garden hoses. Sent. July 10th. Today I played guitar in my underwear. My credit score changed dramatically. I rode a horse so far into the desert, we vanished into the horizon. I quit my game without saving. I cooked a gallon of soup in the microwave. I did not work. I did not write. I retreated deep into myself. I found many empty cups of water. Send. September 4th. Today I worked both my jobs. I ordered dumplings and took out the trash. I brought a curse onto myself and my loved ones. I felt astonished at the numbers of the dead. I rode my bike to the highest point of the city. I could have laughed with more feeling. I did not vote for that awful man. Either of them. Send. November 3rd. Today I considered logging off. I fixed a car with my own 2 hands. I ate 1 meal and drank 6 beers. I paid $20 for a hint at my future. 4,000 people died. I had sex and took a hot shower. I kickflipped over the gates of hell. A number of good things happened to me. A police officer's head was crushed in a doorway. Send. January 6th, 2021. Today, I left one job to go full-time at the other. I sent $500 to a lawyer on Venmo. I fed an apple to a baby raccoon. I thought about buying a planner. I stood in the middle of a tunnel with light at both ends. I failed to burn an American flag. A year since I stayed inside. I look so good in green. Send. March 15th. Today I looked at my phone. I drove around. I ate some food. I lost my job. I drove around, looking at my phone. I ate some food, driving around. I lost my job, looking at my phone. I drove around, losing my job. I looked at my food. I ate my job. I drove my phone, eating my job, losing around. I drove. I ate. I looked. I lost. Okay. That was May 31st, and I've got one more for you. Today, I'll wake to a blinding light. Afternoon birthday, how lovely. I'll eat tacos and be unemployed. Make a difference in my community. I'll kiss my loving girlfriend. Finish a book and go outside. Clear a spot on a blood-covered floor. Sit down there anytime I like. Send. It's June 4th, 2021. How do I stop sharing my screen? Thank you, everybody, for listening to my poem. I end my turn.